Hello there. I wanted to share today a little bitty testimony, a short testimony about how I came to Christ as the only way. And I hope it helps you. It was done with a little bit of logic and soul searching as well in the spiritual realm. I was raised in church, but like a lot of kids, when you go to college and start studying the liberal arts, you start to question what you believe in. And I was in world religions class, I took philosophy, and I started to question what I believed. So one day, I went outside and I still remember where I was standing on the campus. I looked up in the sky and I said, whoever you are, highest power, and that's real important. Don't seek a higher power, seek the highest power. I said, whoever you are, highest power, he, she, it, a single religion of the world that's right, or some way that has never been discovered, I want to know. Please tell me who you are. I was almost demanding with it. And I studied Buddhism, Confucianism, Islam, Judaism, you name it. I've tried to not do it all, but research it all. And when I did know the story of the crucifixion of Christ, right? Growing up in church, thank God. Thank God my parents raised me in church. And when I was studying the Tanakh, and for those of you that don't know what that is, that's the Old Testament. That's what the Jews call what we Christians call the Old Testament. So I'm reading the Tanakh, and I come across Psalm 22, and it starts off, my God, why have you forsaken me?" And I'm like, immediately I'm like, that's the words of Christ on the cross. But I know that I'm reading a book that King David wrote 1,000 years before the crucifixion ever happened. So it immediately gets my attention. And that was fulfilled. Jesus fulfilled that in Mark 15:34 and Matthew 27:46. He said the same words. So I kept reading. When I came down to verse 8, it says, all those who see me ridicule me. They shoot out the lip. They shake the head, saying, he trusted in the Lord. Let him rescue him. Let him deliver him, since he delights in him. They're mocking him, right? And we know in the crucifixion that happened. Then I go down to verse 18. They divide my garments among them, and for my clothing they cast lots. And of course, reading the New Testament, which was written by Jews, not by Gentiles. It was written by Jews. Every writer of the New Testament, Jewish writer, they knew Christ came to fulfill the law. If you read in Matthew 27:35, 39, and 43, those verses, it says, then they crucified him and divided his garments, casting lots, that it might be fulfilled, which was spoken by the prophet. Continuing on in Psalm 22, for dogs have surrounded me. The congregation of the wicked has enclosed me. They pierced my hands and feet. I can count all my bones. Psalm 34:20 is where it says, he guards all his bones, not one of them is broken. And that's a prophecy about none of his bones would be broken on the cross when it came for time for Jesus to die. A lot of people die from crucifixion, if you don't know, about falling, suffocation. So even those that were not nailed to the cross like he was, that were crucified, would often die of suffocation. When they came to make sure that they were dead in the New Testament, if you read it, they would break the legs of those being crucified. That causes them not to be able to support themselves, stand up, and they suffocate. In John 19:32 through 33, the soldiers came and broke the legs of the first and the other who was crucified with him. But when they came to Jesus and saw he was already dead, they did not break his legs. So it's all Psalm 22. I'm just blown away by these several prophecies written 1,000 years by the king of the Jews, King David at the time, that came true later. 1,000 years later, there are prophecies that are just like in other religions, if you study it, and it's almost like the sky is going to be blue tomorrow. It's like, wow, well, you have a high percentage of getting that prophecy accurate. It's not really a prophecy. And then as I continued to read the Tanakh, or the Old Testament, I found out that there was just countless, by my mind, countless prophecies that were spoken that Christ fulfilled. So it was Psalm 22, the Old Testament, right, that led me to believe in Jesus as the only way. So I hope that helps. I hope you go read it. Psalm 22. It's mind blowing how someone can prophesy something 1,000 years before it happened, and then it gets fulfilled to a T um, on a cross 1,000 years later. Thank you, Jesus, for showing us the way. It's there. If you want it, seek, you'll find it. I was just crying out to whoever the highest power was because I wasn't sure. And he showed me who he was. His name's Jesus. He loves you very much. God bless you.